Grace pub in Brighton on South Hanover Street in the wonderful Hanover area has been here since 1870. In February 2017, the council accepted that the pub was an asset of community value, and a group of us decided to get together and buy it when the people who owned it put it on the market almost straight away. We formed Friends of the Grays, which is a group of local people who've given up so many hours and so much time to get to a situation where we're at. We are now a community benefit society, Friends of the Grays Limited, and we're now capable of issuing shares because we're authorised by the Financial Conduct Authority. There's a lot of stuff to be got through with all this. And we're doing our share launch starting from the 2nd of December, and we've only got until the 28th of December when the pubco that owns it, EI Group, can then sell it to whoever wants to come along and be the highest bidder.
Hi, my name is Penny. I am a resident of Hanover and have known about the Grays and used the Grays for many years. So once the share offer is launched, people would be able to visit the website and decide what level investment they'd like to make. That money will be there to purchase the pub and the pub will then become a self-sustaining business.
So I'm a relatively newcomer to the Grays, and the reason I got involved with the project is that we're seeing this massive throwaway culture recently of everything. If something isn't quite working, we get rid of it, and this is happening nowadays even with pubcos. If something's not making the correct profit, they get rid. Whereas actually there's so much benefit that this place can give to the community and to people in the whole of Brighton. So I'm getting involved, and I'm really trying to help push things on online and in new media sort of channels. This could be a really sustainable business, and in fact there are 50 other community pubs that have been running since 1988 that were deemed as unviable, and they're still going today, and we hope this becomes the very next one of those guys.
Hi, my name's Paul. I've been living in Hanover for 30 years or so, and I've been coming into the Grays in all those years, and I've had some really fantastic times. I'd like to keep the thing going as a viable business outside of being run by a corporate body rather than the community, and the main thing is to keep the music tradition going, of which I've enjoyed many concerts here. But what I really want to do is to create a pub for the future rather than relying on the past, you know, that kind of thing. But what we need is to invest in it in the first instance, and essentially we're looking for around £200,000, which does sound like an awful lot of money, but with enough interest we're hoping to achieve it.
I'm Paul Adset, and I live up the hill and been coming to this pub since Sarah and Alan Gray took it on and changed the name from the Bricklayers to the Grays, 30, heaven knows how many years ago. Yeah, I've got a real passion for live music, and I've been coming here to gigs for decades and seen it develop from small local acts through to international and nationally known artists from the west coast of America, members of the Byrds, from Nashville, big names, and people like founder members of Fairport Convention and, oh heavens, Martin Carthy, the godfather of English folk. Shirley Collins has played here, she did stuff. I've been in the privileged position of being able to put on live music here, ticketed gigs that attract those big names that are way beyond what you'd expect. You wave a few quid at them and they'll come. And I don't want to see that disappear. I want to keep the tradition and the reputation that it's got happening and vibrant. And yeah, there's plenty of people who want to come and play. The place deserves those people and deserves an audience.
Well, I've been coming to the Grace for nearly 30 years. I've seen an astonishing array of acts. And to be honest, as a venue within the community of Brighton, I think this is the equal of, if not superior to, almost any other venue. Some extraordinary international and nationally famous acts are played here. And if the pub closed, we would lose all of that. You know, it's moved from landlord to landlord. Initially, Mike Lance started the music policy. Chris and Jill Beaumont ran it for quite a long time, and eventually they were driven out by the economics of the situation, which is the thing that we're trying to address here. Basically, it comes down to economics. We all love the pub. It's a small pub. It holds 70 people. It's a single bar. So it's not easy to make big money, although sometimes it's had a successful food policy, which has helped. But the problem is that it's owned by a pub company who are landlords. They're property landlords. They're not brewers. Their interest is in the bottom line always. If the community can buy it, then we can keep it open because it's a great little room. It's got the potential to be used not just as a pub, but as a community space for any amount of other things that we can do, and we can keep the music policy going. We've been saying we need about £200,000. It seems like a lot of money, but then how many people live in Hanover? 5,000 or something. These are not huge sums. Once a community acts as a community and the share offer goes live and the money starts flowing, I think these figures are realistic.
What I found is that artists really love to come and play here, even when they've moved on to far, far bigger venues, because they just love the intimacy of the place. There's an audience, it's a listening audience, who appreciates what they do, and the artist gives it back because they just... Something happens here that allows them to bring out the best in them. They come in and they see how small the place is, they go away saying, I want to come back and play here again because they love it and we love it. And I don't want it to disappear.
Pubs in Hanover are a massive part of the community. Communities don't just happen. They need somewhere to start them happening and for them to happen all the time. You can't have it in a lovely organic veg shop. You can't have it in a community centre necessarily because you're not popping in there, but pubs is where it all happens. You can sit and chat and get to know people. We're very excited about what can happen and what can happen in the future when the community gets its hands on this fantastic pub.